Well, today's the 6th of April 2022 and we've got some breaking news for you. So we've just come down to San Agustin. It's a bit noisy with all the traffic, but hopefully you'll be able to hear what I've got to say as we just go for a little walk through San Agustin towards Ilietas. And the building that was behind us is used to be the Uto Palace Hotel, and it was quite a nice hotel, favoured a lot by the airlines, so you used to get a lot of pilots and aircrew coming to stay there, but lots of holiday makers as well. But a few years ago it was it became derelict for a while, and a few years ago it was converted to some quite nice apartments. Anyway, we're just going to walk down through San Agustin with what's breaking news as of today. It's in the newspapers that from the 20th of April, so a little bit later on this month, masks are not going to be required indoors. I know a lot of people have been asking about masks, whether you have to wear them or not. Well, we don't wear them outside, but if you go inside, if you go into a shop or into a bar, then you need to put a mask on, and that is going to end on the 20th of April. So the 19th of April there will be a decree, and that will be certified, so that on the 20th you don't need to wear masks anymore. There are some exceptions. Exceptions will be health centres, medical centres, anywhere where there's people who are vulnerable, and one which will affect a lot of people will be public transport. It looks as though you may still have to wear them if you go on the bus. So someone was asking me about changes since we've been here on the island, and well, lots of places have come and gone, some for the better, some for the worse. One of the things that has disappeared, hello, one of the things that has disappeared across the road used to be the pizzeria, and it was called the Trattoria, and it was a favourite place of everyone, but no more. It's pretty much all of a sudden ended. Oh! This is our original stomping ground, so it's quite like we'll bump into people. So I was saying about the Trattoria, which was across the road there. The building's still there, it's empty, it looks derelict, and so we missed out. It had a wonderful terrace which looked out over the sea, and we would go there, have a pizza, or basically Italian food, wasn't it? It was always really nice. And then next to it and down the steps was the Nawab, an Indian restaurant, and it was one of our favourites too, so we used to go to the Nawab quite often. Yeah. So that's the big news. The big news is that masks are going on the 20th of March. Now, I did see a rumour, and it's only a rumour, and I certainly couldn't find it in the press. I've just had a look through the newspaper, that the passenger locator form, which is actually not a passenger locator form in Spain, it's called a health check form, for passengers coming from the UK, you have to fill this form in the 48 hours before you arrive, and it does ask you certain things about where you're going to be staying and that sort of thing, but it's you have to be fully vaccinated. Adults have to be fully vaccinated to come and go on holiday here. The rumour was that that's going to change, but I can't find it, and I will bring you an update as soon as I do. At the moment it's still in place, certainly in place now. So our family were arriving on Friday. Let's make sure that they fill that form in, so I better speak to them tonight.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Good, nice to see you.
Oh, we bumped into somebody else, but that's the way we are. Yeah, so we're just heading down towards Kalanova, which I don't know if it's still referred to as the Royal Yacht Club, but it always used to be. It's quite nice down there. And San Agustin does have a beach, but nothing really to compare with the beach in Calamayor. Calamayor has got a wonderful beach, if the rest of it is a little bit dilapidated. And yeah, well, I guess some places here are a little bit dilapidated and empty. And we're just coming out of the recession. There's lots of graffiti here, and hopefully we can get back from that. So this is the heart, for me, this is the heart of San Agustin. And we're just coming to a bar which is quite famous amongst the students, our students who used to go there, go to BIS. It used to be called 2EO, it's now called Mojo Beach, but it's still the bar on the corner down in San Agustin. I think we'll just cross over the road here when the lights allow us and just have a quick look at the beach. It is only a very, very small beach, but it has been improved since the days of BIS. And Lisa's looking for a button to press, but this one doesn't actually have a button, it's just wait your turn. Oh, and there's a green man. So the little beach here is adjacent to the Kalanova port, and there is a lift. I'm not sure whether that works, but I'll actually have a look at the steps. There's ducks on this beach as well. My goodness, how typical. Shall we go down? I'll just hold on to a... and we'll go down. I think I'll turn the camera off while we go down, and then we'll resume when we get to the bottom. So we're just down on the beach now, and you can see it is only a little sandy beach, but two little ducks sitting on the beach. And it is sandy.
Slippery here.
And because we've had a storm, some of that sand's got washed away. But it's a beach where we've, in the past years gone by, we used to do a summer camp in July, and this was the closest beach to the school. So we'd bring about, I don't know, 10 or 20 children down, and there's a rock out there you can sit on and jump off. And there's actually now a set of buoys to prevent motorboats coming in. And there's rocks for them to play on, and you can go and see the crabs. And there is now, I haven't used to be, but there is now a little walkway that goes around the headland, which is quite pretty. As you can see, the sea's quite calm. The sky is almost blue. We've had really rough weather for the whole of March. We're now into April, and it was the wettest March on record. I don't know about the coldest, but it certainly felt pretty cold. But today is supposed to be the turning point in the weather, and by Thursday tomorrow the weather's supposed to be picking up and up around 20 degrees, so that's when our family come. Any of you are coming out for Easter, hopefully the weather's going to be quite fine for you. There may still be the odd day when it's cloudy and might even be a few spots of rain, but the temperatures are supposed to get back to their normal, which is around 19-20 degrees Celsius for April. Cooler in the evening, so you need a jumper or a jacket if you're going out in the evening, sitting on a terrace. It's really nice, but it does get a bit chilly. Views of the King's Palace here, and out towards Arenal in the distance, I suppose. We're just going to make our way up, and I'll tell you the next bit of news when we get to the top of the stairs, and Anita's taking a photograph. So we just made our way back up to the road, and just across the road there's a children's park. That wasn't here when we first came to the island, it's sort of new. And then adjacent to the beach we have the Kalanova port marina. We'll just have a quick look in there. Port Kalanova. It used to be referred to as the Royal Yacht Club. I'm not sure, Royal something. Anyway, it's maybe it's lost its royal title, but it's, Yeah, so things have changed here. There's looks like a restaurant and a shop at the top, and we've got the port down below. Should we go down there? Might be better to walk down the slope, I think. Just have a little look. So in years gone by, friends of ours who had boats used to moor them here. So more than once have we been down and embarked on a yacht.
Little one.
A little one, yes. It's not a place for big yachts, and they were both sailing yachts as well. So Rick and Jeannie, Rick, hope you're feeling better if you're watching this. You're constantly in our thoughts. And Lou and Julie also had their boat down here. So I remember going out with them. It's a nice little marina with little boats, and it's a sailing school where youngsters of all ages can come and learn how to.
Our school comes down here for sailing lessons.
Yeah, I think ours might have done too. So lots of little boats here, and you can come and have sailing lessons. They've got all the gear in there, and there's a nice little restaurant with a lovely terrace. Again, when the weather's nice, it's just nice to sit on that terrace, come down, have a coffee, have a beer. But this is the marina of Kalanova. And it used to have, and probably still does have, a residential school. So some of the rooms up there are actually residential, and usually children come along and they can stay here while they're doing their sailing courses. And many years ago, a friend of ours, Lou Ravel, who had a gym in Palma, he had a gym in London at one point, Ravel's gym. Well, when he closed his gym in Palma, he actually opened a gym here at the port, and for a time I used to go there.
Oh.
Do you remember that? Oh, it's a long time ago. Oh, the memories are coming back. Anyway, we're going to make our way back up to the road and walk a little bit further, because I've still got this one item of news that I haven't yet told you. So up at the top, wait for that next bit of breaking news. For any former BIS students who are watching the video, you'll know that road very well. It's one you will have walked up and down many times to get a bus to go anywhere on trips. We used to lead them down there to get the bus down at the bottom here. We're just going to carry on our little walk a little bit further this way through San Agustin, and then I can tell you that next bit of breaking news, which was announced, well, I guess it must have been announced yesterday, because it's in the bulletin today, and that is the Mallorca Daily Bulletin is no longer going to be. The Mallorca Daily Bulletin is just going to be called the Mallorca Bulletin, and it's going to be published just once a week, which is sad, except there is some good news to go with this. And the good news is that it's going to become a multimedia website with all the news that we've had before in the newspaper, but all that news is going to be online, and a lot more multimedia. So they're going to be launching a new website, so it will still be, I think, the same address. Mallorca dailybulletin.es is going to remain the website.
So will that be daily online?
Well, it's not, no, it's constant, isn't it? That's the beauty of this. It's the beauty of being online, is that in a newspaper your news is already a day late. So people read the newspaper, and a lot of the things that they're reading happened yesterday, and they've already read it somewhere else.
Yesterday's paper telling yesterday's news.
And that's it, isn't it? The things that newspapers do and do well is to give you the inside story. So you can have an event that's happened, and read it a day later. But when you read it a day later, you're actually getting that new inside information that the reporters managed to dig out that you might not have got by just reading the headline on Twitter or Facebook. So I'm quite excited about that, and Jason Moore, the editor, he seemed quite excited in his article about the new venture that's happening, and I look forward to seeing it. I look at the Daily Bulletin's website every day, and sometimes several times a day, but it's one of the first places I go to in the morning. It gives me great local news, and it's up to date, and they've been good to me in the past. They've featured many of our videos on their website, and I'm very grateful for that. It gets it known a little bit more, and I wish them really well with it. Just a little side here which gives us a different view of the port. We can look at some of the boats that are out of the water, some of the bigger ones here. So the travelling lift there brings them out of the water. They're put onto the side, and once they're on the side, then they can be defouled or whatever else needs, painted and prepared for the next season. And just as we're standing here, you won't be able to see it very well, I'm sure, but in the distance there's one of our cruise liners just leaving. Still a bit of controversy about them. One point last week, I think there were 3 in Palma, and that's a little bit much when you've got 4,000 or 5,000 passengers on board. And I think over the next month or so there's about 40 due to come in, so it's 1 or 2 or more a day, and people are protesting about that. So we'll make our way back up to the road. I don't remember it being so dark under these trees before.
You need a bit of a trim.
Just some other news. It's not new news, but it's something that may be new to people coming to the island. If you're hiring a car, first it's going to be expensive. Hire cars, rent cars seem to have put their prices up a lot, so you need to shop around, make sure you get the best deals. And the other news is that if you're driving in towns, and I'm not talking about just Palma, I'm talking about anywhere, and San Agustin is a little town, the speed limit is 30 kilometers per hour. So you really need to keep your eye out for the speed signs. There are lots of them around, so if you've got a red circle, white background and a 30 in the middle, that's your speed limit. There are some where the speed limit is in with a black circle, and that is, it's just a bit of a notification.
Like 10,000 steps.
And just hit 10,000. I don't think I'm anywhere near that. So just be careful. And the roads have changed a little bit as well. A lot of Palma now, the actual city, you can't really go with your car. They've got lots of roadworks in there which are going to be going on for quite a while. And we noticed as we came down here into San Agustin just yesterday, and we do this quite irregularly, that some new traffic lights have appeared. And I don't know how long we've been here, but just in front of the Maricel Hotel, which is the hotel directly in front of us, there's a new set of traffic lights. So do be careful if you're driving in Mallorca. Petrol's gone down, well, sort of gone down. It's being subsidised by the government to the tune of 20 cents per litre. So you go and fill up, and I think it still shows you the regular price. I need to went and filled up the other day, but when you get the bill, it's 20 cents per litre less than you thought it was going to be. It's quite nice, isn't it? So the government here doing their bit to help people. We've probably got the most expensive petrol in the country, actually, because we're on an island, and lots of other things are more expensive here than they are on the mainland. And so our government is calling on the EU for a little bit of money to help us get through this expensive time. And I think there's a fair chance they might actually get some money from the European Union to help people here. Property is particularly expensive. Some people are asking me about property here. It is really expensive if you want to come and live here. If you want to buy a property or if you want to rent a property, it's very expensive. And I just saw in the paper just before it came out that it can be twice as expensive as places on the mainland. So very, very difficult. Another thing I read, somebody asking a question about her husband had always said he would never come to retire in Spain, and now he's reached retirement age, he's decided he does want to retire in Spain. And the lady was asking the question, how easy is it if we sell our house in England and then come to retire in Spain? And the answer is it's not easy at all, and you may or may not be able to do it. Things have changed here, and coming to live and retire in Spain is not as easy as it was before Spain were in the European Union, and certainly not as easy as when we were in the European Union. When we were in the European Union, you could just come and retire here. It was no problem at all. One thing that might help this particular lady was that her grandmother, I think it was Irish, and that might make her able to get an Irish passport. If you're able to get an Irish passport, then you can come as a European, and then you don't have a problem, and your spouse can piggyback on that. Little beach down there. I don't think we're going to go down, but the big beach is just around the corner. Bigger beach, which is the Bougainvilleas beach. We'll just walk to that, I think, and have a look. So if you've got any Irish grandparents or any other nationality in Europe that's going to allow you to take a passport, then that might be the way to do it. But for most British people, it's not going to be easy to come and retire in Spain or in any other European Union country. For us, we live here, we pay our taxes here, pay our social security here, so we are residents in Mallorca, and so these rules don't apply to us, thankfully. I'm just looking at a villa just as we're walking past that's up for sale. 369 square metres, frontline villa with spectacular views. Wow, that's going to be expensive. So I used to have a business just across the road from the marriage cell some years ago, and at lunchtime we'd quite often come down to the Bougainvillea beach, which that's the gate to, but it's closed at the moment. That's the gate that takes you down into the restaurant. I'm hoping, I guess the restaurant will be opening over Easter. It's a really nice little cafe sort of restaurant on the beach. You can have a beer overlooking the sea, and spent many a lunchtime there. And the beach itself is a nice little sandy beach, but quite safe. So it's one that we've used ourselves in the past. I don't think we're going to go down to it. It's got another one with a lift, A few years ago it was decided that some of the beaches like this one and the one in San Agustin were not very accessible, so they put lifts in to take you down. Just going to walk around the corner here so you can have a better look at the beach. So you can see the beach bar down there and the nice little sandy beach, and it's really quite nice for swimming. And the hotel that's in front, that's the Marisal Hotel. Never been in there. It's a 5-star luxury hotel. Our shop was literally across the road from it, and one day saw lots of police and important people around, and later discovered that Bill Clinton was actually staying there. It's President of the United States of America, and it's only a short distance from the King's Palace, so we can see the King's Palace from here too, and we can see Kalanova and San Agustin. So that's the news for today. No masks after the 20th of April, so including the 20th of April. Not sure about the health certificate. I'll have to find out a little bit more on that one. Only rumours at the moment. And then the Mallorca Daily Bulletin. Mallorca Daily Bulletin is now finished, or will be finished, I think at the end of this month, as a daily paper, and it will be a weekly paper. But the online edition will be there, and I think that could be really a good, smart move for them, because many of their readers are actually already in the UK, so they don't actually get the paper version anyway.
One of the ladies was saying, are they still going to have crosswords?
Yeah, well, you can have it in the paper version. You can do crosswords on in the online as well. So yeah, that would be really good. Well, thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed, then please hit that subscribe button. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. So it's bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.